I think we can't stop walking in the streets until we see on every rooftop and every parking lot solar panels, right? I don't see any around here. I don't see any solar around here. That's a problem. It's also really important that we see more bike racks than we see parking lots, right? We have to figure out a way to move people around outside of cars. The number one driver of climate emissions in San Diego is the burning of fossil fuels in cars. So it is incumbent on us and our leaders to find alternatives to the car. And I'm so proud to see all the awesome people that rode their bike down today that are standing in the sun over there. Those guys are going to be leading our climate march after our guest speaker. So thank you guys for riding your bike. Thank you for all the transit riders. Thank you for all the pedestrians who walk down here. Right? We have to show what the change is and how we're going to do it. So there is nobody, and I mean nobody in San Diego, I'm introducing our speaker now, who understands that where real change happens is at the local level. Of course, we want the UN and our president and the leaders worldwide to take action, but really where it happens is here, because we are smaller and more nimble, and we can implement change easier than you can on a national or international level. And I'm very proud to say that I had the opportunity, the privilege, and the pleasure to work with our guest speaker when he was the interim mayor, our current council president, Todd Gloria. And I had one key assignment when we were upstairs in the mayor's office, and that was to draft the most ambitious climate action plan we could possibly muster. That's incredible. That's incredible. And it only happened, truly, it only happened because of the leadership of our speaker, Todd Gloria. And he's one of my favorite people on the planet. He is part of the solution. He is going to help lead the way to change. And it gives me great pleasure and honor to introduce him to kick off this rally.
Hello, San Diego! You guys ready to do something about climate change? Oh, I don't think I heard you. Are you ready to do something about climate change? I want you to be so loud they can hear you in New York City. You guys look incredible. Thank you so much for coming out today. Thank you to Nicole Capritz, who did not take enough credit, because I think I made some decent decisions while I was in the mayor's office, but one of the very best was to hire Nicole to be my director of environmental policy to get a draft climate action plan done. Thank you, Nicole. I'm overwhelmed looking at this audience. You know, when you throw a party, you never know if anyone's going to show up. And you all are here in droves, and this is incredible, because so often in this discussion, in this debate, the other side replaces facts with volume, right? They speak louder and angrier, but it is your presence here today, your physical presence, that communicates to decision makers at the UN and in Washington, D.C., and right here at City Hall that San Diego wants to do something when it comes to global warming, and gosh darn it, we're going to do something. Am I right? Now, as Nicole said, today is all about thinking globally but acting locally. And I see that our Congresswoman is here today, Congresswoman Susan Davis. Susan, thanks for being here today. She is an incredible fighter for our environment back in Washington, D.C. But sadly, there are too many folks back there that still want to deny what is plainly obvious to all of us. To those of us that are seeing firestorms in the springtime, months and months early. To those of us living in a state that is going through one of the worst droughts in recent memory. To those of us who lived through last week's microburst storm that caused so much destruction in our city. We are seeing the effects of climate change every single day, and we cannot wait for decision makers in Washington to come around. We must take action today. So how are we going to do that? I don't know about you, but I don't want San Diego to wait to follow. I want us to lead. This is an issue that demands action today, and we can do it. All of us together can do it. We have a climate action plan that Nicole and I helped to draft, that the mayor will finalize later this month, and that the city council is voting on a resolution tomorrow to demand that we take a cutting-edge, bold stance when it comes to this issue. The climate plan is pretty simple, ladies and gentlemen. It calls for water and energy efficiency. It says that we should move to clean and renewable energy sources, that we should prioritize biking and walking and public transit, that we should move towards zero waste in our community, and that we must prepare for climate resiliency. It's 5 bold areas that we can lead on, and we can put this into place. It must be bold. It must be measurable, and it can be achievable. And we must demand that from our mayor. Are you guys ready to demand that? So let me put it in some more context for you. It says that we will cut the city's emissions, our greenhouse gas emissions, in half by 2035. Do you support that? It says that we will stop putting things in our landfill by moving to zero waste by the year 2035. Do you support that? It says that we'll take more of your tax dollars, and instead of giving it to building freeways as wide as the eye can see, we'll start making smart investments in pedestrian and bike facilities and trolleys and bus rapid transit. Do you support that? It's your money. You support that? And last and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, it says that by 2035, we will be a city that is 100% powered by renewable, clean energy. Do you want to see that? Now, guys, those folks that don't like to listen to Nobel laureates, that don't like science so much, and that are fearful of change, they tell us that this climate plan can't be implemented. They say that they don't want us to be leaders on this issue. Why should we? It's a global problem. Why should San Diego take a stance on this issue? They would rather us wait and see what happens rather than to lean in and take action. Do you support that? I don't think I heard you, and importantly, I don't think the TV cameras heard you. Do you support that? All right, you just convinced me. In fact, guys, I think by doing this, not only will we protect our environment, not only will we do the right thing morally, but we will do something that's incredible for our economy. You all know that we have an innovation economy in San Diego that is second to none. The smartest people in the world working up at UCSD and in our clean tech economy, people who are dying for good paying jobs, that if we take these steps, if we set a standard like 100% renewable, I think the solar companies are going to come flying into San Diego, am I right? And when they come in here, they're going to start creating some good jobs, right? And to those companies that don't want to get with the program, what do we say? Move along, because someone else will. Guys, this is so important, and I'm so glad that you are here. This is so important, but here, let's just think about this. It's not just about climate plans. It's not just about being here on a Sunday afternoon, which I appreciate. It is about our future. It is about our children and their posterity. It's about saying that 100 years from now, were we on the right side of history or were we on the wrong side of history? Your presence here today tells me very, very clearly that when the history of this time is written, it will not say that we shirked our responsibility, that we stuck our head in the sand, that we ignored facts as plain and as obvious as they are. The history will say that you guys engaged on this issue, that you stood up and you assumed responsibility, that you showed more care for your future than you do for your current, and importantly, when it says the history of this time is written, it will say that San Diego did the right thing, that we stood on the leading edge, and that we got it right. Guys, thank you so much for being here. You all are wonderful. I appreciate your support. God bless you, and God bless San Diego.